Buy one, get one free. That's today. Today, I want to talk about how we're living in the darkest times, darker than the dark ages, and how that may be true because history teachers want us to think that catastrophes and conflicts they exist in isolated bubbles, and when the bubble pops, it's gone. It's no longer part of the memories, apparently. It's not a progression to greater conflict. It's not a progression to more technological forms of conflict, let's say. So, why is this? Why is now, April 2022, today? Why are the times of today the darkest times ever? Well, I'll just scattershot some details of what I observe, and you make a decision. So, as adults, we're matriculated from the education system, which is just a fancy way of saying we're kicked out by the education system to be invited by the job or work system. And so the story goes. And then we're too trusting of the education system in spite of our experiences within it. And we trust this education system to teach our children, apparently, when, I mean, university doesn't make a better human being. What do you think all the other levels below are gonna make your child a better human being in every way? And what are you doing as a parent to mathematically, absolutely, certainly ensure like quality control? Ensure that the quality that your child embodies is that which is best for everyone. Because that is the quality, that is the only quality that is timeless. Qualities that are best for everyone. That if everyone had, we would have a better society. And another observation that I observed is the adult doublethink, where in the literature we would say shit like, in business, authenticity is the key to successful business. And meanwhile, what do the real winners of the business game do? They lie the best. They cheat the best. They present a fake face the best. They present a poker face the best. And yeah, it's do one thing and say another thing. And it's not just the people that actively embody this behavior. It's the crowds of businessmen and women that accept it. They accept it in the hope that they will become one of those winners. Meanwhile, the design of the game is one winner to 10,000 losers. One winner to 10,000 losers. And the definition of winner changes with you, apparently. And the biggest absolute winners of the world, called the billionaires, there's only about 2,600 of them in the entire world of 7 billion. So that's one winner to how many losers? And then, let's see, what's another point I can bring up? How effective our media controls information. Controlling information doesn't necessarily control the human being, but we've accepted and allowed it to be that way. Even amongst adults that apparently know better, they read and watch the news like gospel. It's as if news is the modern pulpit, where the newscaster is the preacher and their script is scripted by a focus group of psychologists and all those creative junkies that spin a story that whose sole purpose is to maintain stability amongst the populace while 2,600 parasites of billionaires literally take from those that don't have that privilege. And meanwhile, we accept it. It's so strange. And also, what's another thing? Speaking of effectiveness, the effectiveness of the focus group to pinpoint the weaknesses of our children and feed them these image and likeness reflections through things like the pop star industry, the K-pop industry, not Korean in particular, but the pop industry as a global phenomenon. Like us adults that grew out of those things can see they're mirroring what the children wants. They're mirroring what the children is insecure about. And we accept and allow them to consume this philosophical candy. Candy is sweet until it's not, right? And then also the isolation between groups of people, not necessarily delineated by a name, but in terms of groups that share similar behavior and play a game together so that everyone wins sometimes. These groups are getting more and more isolated and unforgiving of opposing views. And that's a problem that's been talked about by a lot of YouTubers, but you add all of these observations together, we live in pretty dark times, don't we? At least I think so. And the solution to that is, what are you gonna do about it? How are you giving as you would like to receive? And that's a complex and multi-dimensional answer that you answer for yourself. You don't report to me, you report to yourself. Yeah, that's the solution. Thanks. Bye.